Yep. Next. Next week I'll have the comments scrolling. I didn't get a chance to put that in this week. Yeah, I'm not. I don't give a shit about what they do. No, I think I can just do like a window capture so that it'll roll out like the last one that pops up, or like a couple of them, and then we'll put it in a corner or something and try that out for a while until somebody starts like writing a bunch of bullshit. That'll work good. But all right, you guys ready?
This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now.
It is bedlam. It is pandemonium. It is pandemonium.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 24/7 Phillies Pandemonium presents the K-Down Report. Tonight, joining me, we have Scott, Phil, Swain,
Yep.
and special guest podcaster from Boards and Breaking Tables, Connor Colbert, a.k.a. Joe. Hey, Joe, welcome to 24/7 Phillies Pandemonium.
Feels great to be here. Thanks for having me, fellas.
What's up, Jobs?
All right, so Joe, let us know. Tell us about your little podcast there, Boards and Breaking Tables. How you got that started? Why you name?
Yeah, it was about last December after we sold the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. I was a broadcasting major by training in college, and I wanted to do a passion project about the Bills. Coming up with ideas, tossing things around. One thing I wanted to get out there was that our fan base is so much more than just young guys that like to break tables. We're very knowledgeable. We love our team. We like to break down and tell the best of them. So I'd like to interview people from the analytics perspective as well as fans, tell fan stories, and talk sports and break those down for the fan base. So that's what my podcast is about tonight.
Hell yeah, man!
Yeah, perfect. And I know Scott was on episode 5, and then we had Scott the other day. He was on episode 2. Now, I listen to it on Spotify. Are you on any other podcasts?
Platforms.
I'm on SoundCloud and Spotify. I keep saying I'm going to get on iTunes here lately. I kind of lost that, but right now it's exclusively on SoundCloud.
Very cool. I'll tell you, Anchor is a great platform in which you can also listen to this podcast as well. So,
All right, next, Boards and Breaking Tables. So, want to go from the beginning, and then we got second segment here. Guys, 31 and 28. Talk to me.
huh? Put your cell phone on vibrate.
Ready? 31 and 28. Let's go over a couple of projections that we made throughout the past week. A little bit closer than what we were expecting, but with the win, 2-0 is good. 2-0 is efficient, and because it's only a week closer than not, 2-0 is a good start, and then we'll have to discuss the remaining games. I want to
Hell yeah. Yeah. Well, I said something last week, and I said something on More Than Breaking Tables. I think that the cool thing about this last week is that we proved that we have the offense that can challenge experienced corners. The corners for the Dolphins were a step up from the Jets, obviously. I mean, by no means are they like the most elite in the league, but they're better. And instead of doing what we all kind of thought they were going to do and shy away from throwing the ball and hit them hard with their weakness in the run game, they stepped up and said, no, we're going to throw the ball. And I love that. That was like the most encouraging thing to me in this game. And if you would have stopped at 300 yards, statistic wise, fine, you know what I mean. But then to go crush it again and throw for 400 and 4 TDs and no picks, and he man, it was great. I loved it. I loved the whole thing, except for the delay and the power outage and Florida sucks. It was so pretty, dude. So pretty. Oh yeah. 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 Yeah, man. Yeah. Sweet. Thanks, buddy.
That's pretty sweet.
Should be good now.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. So what I noticed was, again, we didn't run as much as I thought we would, or hoped that we would, but our passing game was different. There wasn't many planned runs for Allen this game, and he seemed like he stayed in the pocket a little bit more. And he also had a lot of trust in his receivers. I don't know, this week actually, and I might have to close off a group here. I might not be a member anymore, but there's a lot of negativity still with a small number of Bills fans, and I know Scott wants to rant on this, but the quote of the week goes to a fan that states that the only reason why Josh Allen did well is because his receivers balled out. I think that's how the game's played, right? If the quarterback throws the ball and the receivers catch it, that's part of the game. That's balling out. That's playing the game. But anyway, Allen was comfortable in throwing some passes that he wouldn't have last year. And Diggs made. I'm going to point out Diggs. He made some crazy catches that were just awesome.
Jared, how about that ballsy throw he had to Diggs through 2 defenders?
Yeah,
I
thought it was
saw
gonna get picked.
that and I was like, that's a pick, but it got it through, and that's a good throw. I mean, that's something that he probably doesn't do in his first year or two. But I think it's the confidence that Dable has in him. He now knows that he's got an arsenal of weapons that are going to go up and make plays. And the hate that everyone has around Josh Allen, if you do hate on him, he's just such a likable guy. He's fun to root for. I'm glad he's my quarterback.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when we first were coming out with draft predictions, when he was drafted, I was kind of a Sam Darnold fan because I liked him at USC. But then me and my dad were watching his highlights for Wyoming in the bowl game they played at Boise State Stadium. And I was like, this guy's got a cannon. He can throw the football. And we were all in on Josh Allen. And there could be MVP talks this year. That's all I'm saying, if he keeps this up.
And the big thing that I'll touch on that a little bit, Jobs, is he threw that ball because a lot of wide receivers and quarterbacks, they can go a couple seasons without developing what I think Diggs and Allen already have. They trust one another, and that's a big thing when it comes to your wide receiver core and your quarterback. But to go off when Jared was talking about the negative fans and how fans are saying that Allen's only successful because of the wide receivers, that's almost the same as taking all the credit away from Tom Brady because the only reason he was good, he had Gronk, Edelman, Moss, Welker. The only reason Breeze is good is because he had Michael Thomas, he had Graham, he had Golston back in the day. It's common sense. You're going to have a good quarterback. You're going to if you have a good wide receiver core, your quarterback's going to be good. If you have a quarterback that's got a good or wide receiver core that has a good quarterback, your wide receivers are going to be good. It's just the way it works out. It's common sense. They need to get on this Josh Allen train and just be happy that we have someone that is – I know it's only 2 weeks, but we have the best quarterback in the NFL right now. And, you know, if they want to pinpoint the certain passes, the dangerous ones to Diggs, and then that one that Gabriel Davis caught in the back of the end zone.
Nice catch.
As a quarterback, Jobs, you were a quarterback. I played quarterback in high school. Sometimes you throw the ball where the defender can't make a play on it. And a lot of fans don't understand that. Why did he have to die for it? Why did Diggs have to jump up? He's 6'2". He caught that ball in his fingertips at the highest point. Something tells me Josh Allen knew to throw it there against the undersized defensive backs. You throw the ball where the wide receiver is the only one that can make a play. And what's the worst case scenario? It's an incomplete pass. So to say that his wide receivers are the only reason he's good, you don't throw the ball 80 times. You don't complete it 70% of the time. You don't have 6 touchdown passes on top of 0 interceptions. And you don't have right now he leads the league in 20-plus yards passing plays. That just doesn't happen to somebody that's got good wide receivers. You have to be a smart quarterback that can put the ball where he wants it. And his touch passes this year he's got more touch passes this year than he had his 2 years prior. So get on board of the Allen train, everybody. We have a quarterback. And if you don't like him, take a break from football for 10 years and then come back when we have to draft another one.
10. Let's go
15.
15.
Yeah, we'll go 15. Well, the way he runs, who knows? He could be concussed after 5 years. But let's hope that doesn't happen. And for the record, 24/7 Bills Fandemonium and More Than Breaking Tables supports the fact that Tom Brady is a system quarterback and the Patriots cheated to win their Super Bowls.
Absolutely.
Just wanted to get that out of the way.
100%.
Cheers to that.
Tom Brady would be nothing without Bill Belichick, which is why he's sucking it up in Tampa Bay right now.
Yeah.
Love watching it.
Yeah, it is. Since we have audio now for everybody, everybody knows Scott and Swank. They've been on the episodes. They're part of the 24/7 Bills Fandemonium. But I want to reintroduce you to Connor Kobus, a.k.a. Chobes, from More Than Breaking Tables. And boop, Swank's pointing. Chobes, if you want, give us a quick little take again on what More Than Breaking Tables is all about.
Yeah, we kind of get a fan's perspective as well as some professional media on what's going on with the Bills. Show them that we're more than a fan base that gets rowdy at tailgates. We know a lot about this team. We're passionate, and we're the number one fan base in the NFL.
Yeah, sweet. And that's More Than Breaking Tables, and that's a podcast. You can find it on Spotify. And then what's the other two that you had?
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. Okay. Also, we forgot to tell everybody what we're drinking tonight. I'm going to start right off and tell you. We're doing this quick because we didn't have audio for a little bit. Iron Smoke Bourbon Whiskey. That's my beverage for tonight. Swank, what you got?
Iron Smoke, bourbon whiskey.
Bam!
Also, non-pay week beer, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Jobs, what do you got over there sipping on?
I am sipping on a raspberry White Claw.
There you go.
Dude, if I would have had like an 8% Imperial IPA right now, oh, God, it would have been so good.
And
White
Scott,
Claw
what do you
IPA.
got? Blue Moon.
24/7 Bills Booze of the Year, Blue Moon.
Yep, and the Iron Smoke Bourbon Whiskey is the 2020 Bills Fandemonium Whiskey Booze of the Year. My daughter's looking at me right now. She's still wide awake. She's opening the door. Oh, night-night.
Yo, real quick.
Hey.
Real quick, Josh Cook threw up on there how much he loves Alan, and thanks again for helping us out with our little audio stuff in the beginning, man. And he said, I can remember back in the day that mad people hated on Kelly, too. And that's true. You know, I'm wondering right now, I mean, through 2 weeks, like, the only thing the haters can say about Josh is that it's only been 2 weeks and it was only the Jets and the Dolphins, right? But you can't say anything about his accuracy, right? You can't say anything about yards. You can't say anything about the 300-yard game. Like, I don't know. If he goes out and he beats the Rams, segue, this week, this is going to be what everybody needs to shut up about. You know what I mean? Like, he needs to go out and prove it against a good team.
And I'll make an argument against that. You could say you played two of the worst teams in the NFL. My argument against that is that they're still NFL teams with professional NFL football players on them.
Sure.
And yes, he beat up on the Jets, and yes, they beat the Miami Dolphins. But let's keep in mind, Fitzmagic played a hell of a game, 300-plus passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and no turnovers. So he played a game that he would normally win, but the Bills prevented that from happening. So that in itself is something that we're not used to seeing, is another quarterback balling out and us still winning the game. So it doesn't matter if they're poor teams. We're 2-0 in the division, and potentially after next week we will be up 2 games.
No, and another thing just to add also is you're telling me throughout the how many years has the NFL been going on? Over 60. This is the Bills' 60th year. But to start the season with 2 weak teams, that hasn't happened, in the last 70 years? So there's only 2 other players have ever gotten over 700 yards passing in the first 2 weeks. Mahomes, and I think, what was the other one? Manning? Peyton Manning. Right? So those sequence, even to say, oh, he's not doing well, there's only 2 other quarterbacks that have ever done it in the whole league. And to put back-to-back mediocre teams against you, who cares? It's the NFL, and it happened.
And for the record, this happened last year with a certain quarterback that did win the MVP, Lamar Jackson, when he opened up against Miami and Arizona, 2 shitty teams. And nobody was saying anything, but because Josh Allen has all these critics, they're going to use that as firepower. So let's go out and get a W this Sunday.
Yeah, pretty good for a running back, right?
I got tickets to the game, guys.
Do you really?
Yeah, I got 3. You want to go?
Nope.
Cuomo's my uncle, so he got me in.
Oh, awesome, dude. Andy?
We're in the Jim Kelly suite.
Old Uncle Andy?
Yeah,
Sweet,
he's
dude.
a piece of shit, but I told him, hey, man, get me into the game and everything will be good. So we're going to the game this Sunday.
Sweet.
I'll keep it a secret.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
The Fergusons were down in Miami, right? We're good with
Yeah.
it. I don't know.
Hey,
They're saying
guys.
something about how by the Kansas City game they could be letting people in this stadium, but I'll believe it when I see it.
That
That'd
would
be
be
huge.
sweet.
That'd be huge for that
Stuff
game.
and doing what they have to do. I don't think there's no reason why there shouldn't be anybody in the stands during that Chiefs game.
Yeah.
What better game to come back and do it to?
Well,
Let's jump into so we all love Allen and we all love that Buffalo Bills offense, but what do you guys think about the defense? Swank, I'm going to let you lead the way on this one. They let up 28 points, but they also had a couple linebackers missing. What's your take on that defense this past week?
I mean, I don't think we need those two linebackers, man. I think we're fine. It's no big deal, you know. No, you could definitely feel their absence. But I will say, Dodson,
He showed up.
He's good, man. He's good. I was really impressed with his game. It still didn't really help, you know. The tight end just tore us apart, and it was those quick little over the middles. Yeah, good up on it, Scott. He called it last week. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't disappointed, but I don't know. It seemed like split seconds. It seemed like Fitzy was wrapped up like on 6 of those plays that he like threw like a 15-yarder and completed it somehow. What do we have, 2 sacks yesterday or Sunday?
We had 3 again.
3 again? Who was the third one? It was Addison, Oliver, and who?
Poyer got his first.
Oh, Poyer, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd still like to see a little more pressure. I kind of thought that Hyde and Poyer were going to pick up a little bit more of the slack maybe across the middle, but it just didn't seem like it was in the cards. Trey played pretty good. I don't know, man. Levi Wallace. Last week I sang his praises, and I was like, he played a great game, and I was really proud of him. And this week I am just waiting for Josh Norman to come back, like, out of IR to see what we got, because I don't know. If it's going to be Jekyll and Hyde with him week to week, you know, and he gets picked on and whatever. I kind of thought with last week that he was over that, you know, that he put in the work and he'd show up and whatever. But, man, I was kind of disappointed in his play. And like I said, he was getting targeted and all that stuff, but it smelled a lot like last year, you know. But as far as that, yeah, I expect them to come in this week with a huge chip on their shoulder and, like, be ready, you know. And part of me hopes, like, even though they go, you know, one game at a time, blah, 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 that maybe they got distracted studying up for golf. And that's why they were so, you know, lackluster this week. But
Swank, real quick, Addison's still on that 16 sack a year mark.
He is, buddy.
He got his second sack. But how long are you going to depend on that forefront creating the only pressure of the game? I would like to see Frazier blitz a little more. Who knows if you don't want to give away your blitz strategies early on in the season against these lackluster teams, but
yeah.
They're on pace for 48. They only had 44 last year. I would like to see the pressure broadened a little bit more.
That's a good word.
Bring it.
Joe, do you have anything that you saw that you liked, disliked, or concerned about on that Bills defense? Go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, as a gambler, I had Bills minus 5.5. So that last drive by Fitzpatrick was a little uneasy in my stomach. But overall, the defense has proven last year that they can win us games. So I'm giving them a little bit of a pass. But these next 4 games are going to be big because we're going up against all undefeated teams where teams like Tennessee, Oakland, we have the Rams, Aaron Donald, where our offense might be stalled a little bit. So we're going to have our defense make some stops too. So it goes both ways. You can't depend on your offense to win every game, and you can't depend on your defense to win every game. You got to have a little mixture of both. And I'm looking for them to have a statement game, hopefully against the Rams.
Jobs, did you read my notes on my predictions for the Rams-Bills game?
No, what were they?
We'll get there.
Jobs, you made a good point.
Just by the way you're talking, buddy. Just by the way you're talking, I agree. I agree 100%. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jared, but
no, you're not. Go
my
ahead.
only concern was the linebacker position,
Brother.
and you would hope that they can look back at the film and understand how to better play the zone a little bit to cover those slant patterns. And my concern is Higbee coming up with the linebacker core, but we'll get there too.
Yeah, like I was what I was referring to, Jobs brought up a great point that the defense is going to show up and win a couple games, but to pull out a game, have your offense win a game when your defense struggles, that's a check mark. You got one. So our Buffalo Bills offense pulled this one off. Our defense struggled, so they picked them up. and that is
Did.
just how it's got to be throughout to be a successful NFL team. You got to have you can't have the offense be winning the games every week. You got to rely on each other, and that's gonna make. I'm gonna bring up a point. Earlier this week, I read numerous times, and I know Chobes did too. The fact that during the first half, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but our receiver Brown jumped on the headphones and talked to Dayball and said, "Keep giving Diggs the ball." At halftime, Diggs went up to the coaching staff and said, I got some ideas of how to get Beasley and Brown involved." So just that unselfishness, we've talked about it earlier this year. It just continues to happen, and that's why we're going to be successful.
It's
And
only
that's
going to get
huge.
better. Yep,
That's
it's only
huge
going to
to
get
see.
better.
Yeah, it's huge
Yeah.
to see from Diggs,
Yeah.
who people said he was selfish and wanted the ball in Minnesota to kind of change his whole tune and be a team guy here. And I'll tell you right now, it's because of the culture we have. It's because of Sean McDermott, because of who we have in the locker room. I don't know what Minnesota's doing, but you can tell they're not the same team as last year. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year. You don't get rid of playmakers like him when you're trying to make a Super Bowl run. So the fact that the core of receivers who are very smart and can read the defense and talk to the quarterback and the coaches on how they can get open, it's only going to help the offense. And that's great to hear.
Job, you know what's exciting about that?
What?
Beasley and Brown are 31, 32. I can't remember how old they are, but they're getting up there, right? So
Yep.
you got all these smart wide receivers, right? And you have Diggs at 26, and then you just drafted Isaiah Hodgins and Gabriel Davis. They're only going to pass all that along. So I think
know.
our wide receiver core is going to – it's exciting. And you're right. It's trusting the process. It's developing a culture of a locker room that just wants to make the guys behind them that they're going to follow them a lot better every season. And it's exciting to see. You could see it happening right before our eyes. It's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, well, and you saw all that stuff from Minnesota coming out about how Diggs wasn't a true number one, and like there was a bunch of garbage after he got traded or whatever, and he's put on a clinic like these last two games, like Sunday especially. Some of those catches were out of this world. We haven't seen that here in forever, and his ex-quarterback. At one point, I don't know how long it lasted for, and it might have sustained like the whole day. But I know within the first half he had a 0.0 QBR because he'd thrown 4 picks and like 20 yards or something stupid. So Kirk Cousins, I'm going to put him in that same category that I put Sam Darnold and Phillip Rivers in, where everybody makes a ton of excuses for him about if he had a team around him, he'd be the best quarterback in the league, and really. He's not that great. He doesn't win.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he did make some amazing catches, but they also, when they show the replays, his route running is just ridiculous, and it makes it easy for Allen. If it's a read, then bam, he's open, given the ball. The only concern, I know the defense struggled a little bit, and the offense did well, but oh man, that punt game was horrendous this past weekend.
Yeah.
The hang time was horrible. He line drive the kicks, and in tight games, when you start playing good teams, field position is going to be important.
I'll interject real quick. I met our punter once, Corey Bajorquez, at Big Ditch. Talked to him, looked at his stats in front of him. His net punt average isn't really that good. He is a minister, though, so that's kind of a fun fact. But I don't really care who he's getting married. I care more about if he's going to pin somebody in the 10-yard line or less. So, seemed like a good dude. But yeah, we need field position to be switched when that comes about because special teams is so huge. It's third of the game. So
well, that's why when they brought in Edwards this offseason, I thought there's a replacement. You're going from the 28th ranked punter in Bajorquez, and Edwards was 15th. Right there, you cut it in half. And I'm surprised he was cut so quick. I don't know what he did during training, but he impressed during training, but he's not impressing during the regular season.
Scott, I'm going to have you take over for a little bit. All my kids are up and one's not feeling well, so I'll be right back.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
All right, buddy.
So let's talk about what we are going to do about the Rams this week. Concerns? Me personally, my biggest concern is that I think the Bills are finally facing someone that is playing a complete team. Offensively, they run the ball 60%, but I believe that happened because they jump on teams pretty quick as far as scoring, and they like to control the clock. And defensively, they have Aaron Donald, which is someone we got to worry about. They have Jalen Ramsey. Obviously, he talked to smack a while ago. As far as any Bills fans is concerned, that's water underneath the bridge. Allen already took care of that situation. I don't think we should ever bring that up again, unless Ramsey runs his mouth again, obviously.
Oh, and he
But
will. Yeah.
there's a couple spots on the defense I believe they can take advantage of. But offensively, they like to run the ball. We saw the Bills struggle against Gaskins and the running game a little bit without our linebackers. So I'm going to ask you, Swank, is there anything about the Rams that makes you a little nervous? What are you concerned about with the Rams this week? Other than, I mean, like I said, they're a complete team.
Yeah.
So what part? Pick one.
Donald. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I mean, the matchup I'm really looking forward to is Ramsey and Diggs, because I think that's just going to be a battle all damn day. Like, from start to finish, they're going to be jawing. And I hope that they take all the crowd noise, like that fake crowd noise, out of the stadium, so you can just hear them yapping at each other while Diggs is standing over top of him beating his chest. Like, that's what I want. But Aaron Donald, man, that guy, they're going to have to double team him the whole game. And he's the best defensive player in the entire league, and he's proven it over and over and over again. He works hard. I don't know if you guys watched the Hard Knocks and all that stuff from this year, but he's a beast, and he's humble, and he gets there, you know. So that's going to be like the big challenge for this week coming up, I think. But
I mean, right now he's only got one tackle, one sack, and people look at those stats and they'll tell you, well, we shouldn't be. The ones that don't know
Yeah.
Aaron Darnold. He takes up blocks after blocks after blocks,
Yeah.
and he creates a lot of pressure. So the stats, you got to throw them aside when it comes to him. There's a reason why he's a defensive player of the year. But yeah, I agree. You got to worry about Aaron Donald.
what do you
The
think,
thing
Chubbs?
about the Diggs Ramsey matchup is they're going to have him just cover him the whole game. I don't think they're going to double him at all with a safety or anybody over top. So if he can beat Ramsey, which I've seen Ramsey get beat this year,
Yeah.
I mean, he could have another big day. And then, like I said, we still have the other receivers. I'd like to see more use of the tight end. And see, it's tough with Donald being a defensive tackle. Utilization of the screen game would be nice to kind of offset his pressures. Just let him come in sometimes, maybe call
Yeah.
a middle screen. But just keep him on his feet, because I saw that one highlight of Donald taking on two of the Cowboys defenders. I'm like, this guy's a beast.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So he's going to have a good day. You can't stop him, but you can try to slow how big of a day he has by neutralizing him with some plays.
Well, I think that's a lot of like where Allen's mobility is going to come in, move the pocket away from him, do that kind of thing. So I would kind of assume if you set up and you rolled away from the side that Ramsey's on too, then you might have, an opportunity to hit Bees or Brown, and depending on what, I mean, Knox didn't show up last week at all. That nice catch that none of us saw, and then he fumbled it. He had a couple drops, and then he got concussed. So,
Yeah.
you know,
He's on concussion protocol right now.
yeah, so I don't think you'll see him this week. Behind him, I mean, Croft, they're saying he's blocking like a beast, but that's about all he's good for right now. They haven't even activated Lee Smith because Croft has been like taking over that spot. But
False start, Lee Smith.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think that's all 100% right on the dime, man. Like you just gotta figure out what to do about him. That's 75-80% of your day is going to be figuring out what the hell that guy's doing.
Well, to help us out, our previous two games, we played against a 3-4 defense, and we're at home this week, which is always nice, but we don't have the crowd, obviously. But we're playing yet another 3-4 defense. You think Dable would have a pretty good understanding. He's had 2 weeks of plays. He knows what's successful, what's not. But you're right. You create a moving pocket. You take Donald out. You take him out of the game, and go opposite side of Ramsey. I don't know that other corner on the other side, Hill. He's only 5'8", 183 pounds. So I almost contemplated. Welcome back, Jared.
Yeah.
I almost Swank Jobs. I almost contemplated making Mr. Brown number 3 wide receiver and putting our big man Gabriel Davis against that 5'8", 183 pound cornerback this year and just taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
I mean, Diggs and Gabriel Davis are both guys that are known to stretch the field a little bit, and they are known to go up and grab the ball. I see advantage that. I mean, I'm not an offensive coordinator by any means, but I see the big time advantage in that matchup. The linebackers you haven't heard of either. I know Kaiser's a tackling machine. He's a middle linebacker there, and they have 2 other guys. I tell you their names, but I never heard of them. But Leonard Floyd is the defensive outside linebacker. Came from Georgia, played for Chicago a little bit. He is a bit of a threat for that outside rush. But when I talk linebackers, I lean towards running the ball. So you could take the game away from those cornerbacks altogether and just somehow stretch the ball outside and to take care of those linebackers. I think the running game would probably be pretty important this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And to Chob's point about the screen, man, I think that's that point has been kind of neglected because they've set up and been successful with a handful of screens these last 2 weeks.
That's because they never run them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and the ones they ran last year were kind of garbage, Yeah. So I think another year stronger, same system, more confidence. Motor broke a decent one or two this last weekend, and so that could be huge. That could be a really big part of their game.
And it all depends on what the defense is giving you. If they keep bringing them linebackers and bringing 5 defenders at a time, yeah, you need to slow them down by throwing a screen in there every once in a while. So, Jared, right now you're catching up. We're just talking about our strategy against the Rams. Anything that concerns you?
Obviously, Darnold in the middle. Or is it Donald?
Donald.
Sorry.
Sam Darnold.
That's going to jinx us, right? His name
Sam
wrong.
Darnold,
Just
Aaron Donald.
Still worried about him. We already played him 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
he's a beast. And he's going to be good. From what I've seen, they like to depend on that front four to do most of their work. Even in passing in first downs, the front four, they only send 4 people. And when they blitz, I don't know if it's just me that I noticed it, but you can tell that they're going to blitz. They either have 4 and the linebackers are back, or they have 4 with guys up. And usually, from what I've seen, 9 times out of 10, whoever's up is coming. So I feel like the running game's going to, I think this week, last week's episode, I kept saying that I feel like these first 3 or 4 games are going to be like preseason just to figure out what's going on with this Buffalo Bills offense and defense. But I said it last week, it didn't happen, but I'm hoping that this week is the week they establish a running game. It'd be nice to see Singletary and Moss start. They when they get the chances, they seem pretty good. They start right off the bat last week with a good run. But another thing I noticed is they do a lot of jet sweeps, and last year the Rams wide receivers I think led the league in running attempts with 39. I think I might have looked that up. No, so they do a lot of jet sweeps, and they also do a lot of rollout passes. And I don't want to jinx anything again, but I feel like when offenses come into Buffalo and they have weird schemes and concepts, that Leslie Frazier kind of takes off on it, and he usually has a good game plan for that. So we'll be interested to see how everything plays out that way. And I think Robert Woods, I liked him when he played for Buffalo, and he's just proving that he's a top receiver in this league, and he scares me. But like I said, I think Leslie Frazier's going to come up with something.
So
Yeah,
Jared,
they said real
ahead,
quick.
Joe.
They said the next 3 out of the next 4 weeks we play former Bills receivers. So we got Robert Woods this week. Nothing but love for Robert Woods. He was great here. I always love watching him.
I was a fan.
We take on Zay Jones. Hate Zay Jones because he dropped that pass against Carolina. He was just a bum. And then we take on Sammy Watkins, who mixed feelings, always injury prone, didn't like Buffalo.
Bum.
I bought his jersey. I gave it away to a 10-year-old at the airport when I went to Houston. So not a huge fan of Sammy.
Yeah,
and
dude.
I don't know. That's how I feel.
Swank
about
doesn't
it.
like Sammy.
No, I hate
Sammy's
Sam
kind of a
Green.
douche.
He is, man. The amount of love that this city gave him, and I don't know. That draft class, man. There's not a whole lot of.
We should have never traded up for him. That was
No.
a joke.
No.
Doug Whaley set us back so far,
Yeah.
which makes what McDermott and Bean are doing that much more impressive.
It is. Yep.
Doug Whaley sucks.
Yeah.
He took so many bad, like EJ Manuel. Really,
Yeah.
that was our pick. That was
Dude, I remember
that
sitting.
position.
I remember sitting at the bar watching the draft, and we were like, they had a thing where you could, oh yeah, just fill out like your picks, like what you think they are. You could win like a beer or a cooler or something, and EJ Manuel's name gets called, and everybody's like, huh? Who?
What?
No one drinks
What?
today.
Huh?
No one drinks.
Nobody wins anything. We'll roll it over to next year's draft. It's like,
And everybody too. With the Josh Allen haters. Everyone's got to stop with the whole, oh, we could have drafted Patrick Mahomes with the whole Tre'Davious White
yeah,
draft.
get out of
Shut
here
up.
with that, man.
We have a lockdown corner and we have a franchise quarterback. It just took them a little bit more time to develop. So I do like Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback. He's awesome. But
Sure.
guess what?
Yeah.
We got Josh Allen, and they're going to be duking it out for the next 10 years to go to the Super Bowl. And I'm going to have to think of what to do with all my vacation days after we win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. Keep in mind, Holmes came into Tarek Hill. He came into Kelsey. He came into Watkins.
You came into Andy Reid too.
Came into Andy Reid. I mean, he was given a lot
I
more.
don't think he came into Watkins.
No,
I
yeah,
think
he didn't
Watkins
come
came
into
in.
Watkins.
Yeah, Watkins came in later.
Scott, can you honestly get your facts straight?
Trust the
I know,
process,
right?
bro.
I'm
Like, what are
a
you
stat
doing?
guy. I'm a stat guy too,
Come
right?
on,
He
dude.
can't say names. He doesn't get.
Can't say names. Like Sam Darnold's lining up against nose tackle this week.
I did say that, Jared. Me and you are on the same page with that one.
The brothers,
Aaron-
man.
Aaron
Me and
Donald.
Swang are holding it down today. Me and Swang are holding it down.
But
Jobs, you
guys,
can
to
come
break it
back
down,
anytime you want, man.
I love this
If you're
one to
gonna-
make a recurring guest.
If you're gonna look at these two quarterbacks, though, I mean, yeah, we could have got Mahomes, but who fits the Buffalo Bills team, the Buffalo Bills city?
Josh
better?
Allen does.
Right.
Because
So
he's from
you can sit there and
Wyoming
say,
in the
"Oh,
middle of
let's get
nowhere.
Mahomes," but Josh Allen's is going to lower his shoulder and run somebody's ass over,
Yeah,
right? Mahomes
Yeah.
is going to make those no-look passes, whatever. It looks fancy and nice. But when it comes down to it, if someone needs that first down, Josh Allen's going to lower his damn shoulder and get that fucking first down. Sorry, pardon my
Look what
language,
you did,
but
Jobs. You
Josh
did
Allen's
your,
our fucking quarterback. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, guys, let's go back to the
Hate
Rams.
shows, but I finally said the F-bomb.
Hey,
Get
man.
with it, people. He's our quarterback. He's going to do great things.
You just
Cam
open up
Ak-
the gate.
Cam Akers is hurt. Malcolm Brown had surgery on his finger. Darrell Henderson ran the ball for him last week. 100-yard rusher, touchdown, limited carries. Should we worry about that offensive run game for the Rams? They do run up 60% of the time. Are they going to change things up on our defense, or do you think they're going to stay par for the course?
I think they're gonna run it. I think that they don't think the Bills think they're gonna run it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Right.
I don't know. Cooper Kupp, he's a big guy. He's a big target. And I don't know. Like, who does Trey line up against? Does he play man this weekend, or do they have him like set to a side? Because I could see him shadowing Robert Woods more than Cooper Kupp. You know what I
You
mean?
got to remember, Robert Woods is going to be moving a lot, though, too.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know what their I don't know what their plan is in that respect. But I think the run is going to be huge on them, so that you got to plug it right at the beginning. You gotta shut it right down. But they like that sweep stuff. They like those quick little passes to the outside, all that shit. And I don't know. He gets rid of the ball really quick.
Yeah.
So my hope is that, just like last week when they were wrapping Fitz up and he was still completing passes, that Goff isn't experienced enough to be able to complete those passes while they're getting there, because the line was getting there. They just Fitz just had that. He was having a good Fitz day. You know what I mean? So hopefully when Goff shows up, he doesn't know what to do. And I think it's the same for every single year that I've been a Bills fan. If you put that guy on his back a couple times, he's going to start hearing footsteps. So you got to rattle that yuppie, preppy, LA, stupid, idiot Goff quarterback. You got to rattle his cage. You know what I mean?
He
I
does
hate-
have a great first name, though, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part about him, I guess.
Right.
I don't-
And they're missing their left guard this week, guys. So
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a battle of the trenches with Aaron Donald on the defense and then the offensive line against our defense, missing a left guard, that's the interior line. If they want to run the ball, I think they're in trouble against our linemen.
Yeah. Well, I think if Leslie is going to dial up pressures, this is the week he's got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is a week of defensive discipline for sure because, like I said, they do a lot of those jet sweeps and they do roll out a lot with the passing game. So this is going to be a disciplined game. And this is, again, we had to apologize to a player a couple weeks ago for underestimating him. But the veterans like Trent Murphy and Hughes on the outside, I think, is going to be the key to the discipline. And that might be, you might see a big game from those two. Regarding that Rams defense, through the games I watched, the Eagles and the Cowboys moved the ball on them quite efficiently. They just messed up when they got inside the 20. So Darnold's got one. Darnold, damn, I'm stuck on the Jets. Donald has one sack, and I don't know what the rest of his stat line looks like, but he's only got one sack. The two teams they played previously moved the ball on them effectively. They haven't played a high potent offense like their Buffalo Bills. So it's going to be interesting to see how the offense does. But the big thing is going to be if the defense can shut them down. It might be a blowout again. Bold prediction. Anyway. All right, guys. What else do you guys want to talk about tonight? I ran out of things to say.
Wow, that never happens.
that never happens. Jared, what's your biggest? You weren't here when we asked it, but what's your biggest concern about offensively or defensively? Who are you most concerned about? I know you mentioned Aaron Donald earlier. Who are the Bills going to struggle against the most? The offense against their Donald and their corners, or is it their defense against Goff and their rushing attack and Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods?
My biggest concerns, and I actually have it written down right here, are going to be running back Brown and tight end Higbee, and that all depends on if Edmonds or Milano come back. They're going to be the key factors, I think, for locking those down because I have White shutting Woods down for the most part, but then Brown and Higbee are going to be the other two guys, and those guys make me nervous. And it all depends, like I said, if Edmonds and Milano come back. Those are my concerns.
You think it's time to for all four of us to pick the score and the bold prediction for this game?
Yeah, let's do a score and a bold prediction. Chobes, will have you go first. We're going to need a score for your expected score for the Bills game, Bills versus Rams, and a bold prediction. And if you've heard other episodes before, don't make a bold prediction like Swank. Make it bold.
I mean, what are some of Swank's bold predictions? So I know like what's on par.
Smart predictions is what it is, dude.
Ed
Like,
Oliver's
smart.
going to get one sack. That's it. That's his bold prediction.
My bold prediction week 1 was that we were going to come away with 3 sacks. And I guess that's not bold, but it happened.
It's really not.
So,
All right. Well, I'm going to say Bills 24-20. I think it'll be more of a defensive game. And I'm going to say Cole Beasley gets in the end zone twice.
Nice.
that's bold.
I like that.
There you go.
Cole's been hiding in the shadows a little bit. I bought his jersey, then he switched his number, so he really fucked me over. And I still love the guy, but he's going to have 2 touchdowns. One of them's going to be on a reverse. So there you go.
Wow, there you go.
Whoa.
Make it even bolder. What I like about Cole Beasley, Chobes, and you said it right, is during the preseason he mentioned how he's more of a team player now than a stat guy. And the fact that a guy like that isn't saying anything, even though he's not getting the touchdowns like Brown and Diggs, he's staying back and he's playing as a teammate and he's doing, his time will come. And like you both predicted, his time is going to be this week.
Hey, it's the same thing that happened last year. Remember, Beasley was pretty quiet for a while. And then once Allen found him, he stayed with him.
Yeah. All right, Swank. Buddy.
Well, I think for a score, I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to go 31-28 Bills. And for my bold prediction, I'm going to say that Mr. Jerry Hughes gets in the backfield not once, not thrice, but twice. Is that bold? 2 sacks, Jerry? No?
It is. Considering he doesn't have any yet this year,
That's what I'm saying.
I'll give you that.
He's close again. He's close again. It's so
So
frustrating to
what-
watch Jerry Hughes run
31-28?
behind the quarterback.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have it written down. I'm starting to keep track of these things.
There you go.
All right, Scott, give me yours.
31-24. I'm with Chobes on. I think it's going to be a defensive struggle. That's a lot of points for a defensive struggle, but what comes with these points, I think you're going to see a handful of sacks from both teams, a handful of tackles for losses. And I did reference this earlier, and I said I'm on board for my bold prediction. The defense is what's going to win the game for them this week, and I say that with confidence that the defense will score 2 touchdowns. The defense will score 2 touchdowns. And you know how I like to throw out all these bold predictions.
Man, is this bold or is this homer picks? Because I don't understand what's going on here.
2 touchdowns. I think Goff is going to get frazzled because he's not a Fitzpatrick. And going off what you were saying earlier, Swank, Fitzpatrick can be getting tackled and he throws an accurate pass. He's a tough son of a gun, and he does that stuff. Goff is going to panic. He's going to start getting wrapped around the ankles. He's going to float some balls. He's going to throw some balls early on those out patterns. You're going to have a pick 6. The defense is going to score twice, and Oliver will get 3 sacks. Boom! I'll
You
agree
keep
to that.
doubling up.
Just one up and everything.
Well, I'm only going there because the pre-draft Oliver was compared to Aaron Donald, and now it's time for kind of they're not going to switch spots here. You know what I mean? He's not going to hand the torch over, but I think he's going to impress Aaron Donald, and he's going to tear it up, especially with that guard missing. That left guard is injured for the week, so I think it's time for Oliver to shine, so he can go on pace for 16 sacks this year, and I think the defense will score twice, 31-24.
I like it.
What you got, Jared?
I have Buffalo 24, Rams 10.
Nice.
My bold prediction, Swank, you're going to love this.
Do it. Jerry Hughes,
Andre
3
Roberts.
sacks. Oh, yeah?
Not as a receiver, but as a punt returner.
I love it, dude.
Andre Roberts had his first touchdown kick return as a Buffalo Bill.
I love it. We didn't talk about him too much, and I was going to bring that up in the game this last week. I thought that I was a little disappointed, man, in him letting those couple punts fly over his head and getting him pinned back. But, yeah, that would be great. That would be a great comeback, him to torch one back. That would be awesome.
Yeah, he had a great week 1. I mean,
Yeah.
he flipped that field possession on the field position very well. Struggled in week 2, but this week he's going to put one in the end zone.
I like it.
Guys, we're doing pretty well with the AFC East predictions. We're 4-1, all of us. So let's do a little prediction about how we think the AFC East games are going to go. Give me quick. Dolphins versus the Jaguars. Jobs, who you got winning that game?
I got the Jags. I think it'll be an easy one for them.
Swank.
I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I think they're going to get their win here.
I'm going Jags with him. Going Jags. I'm with these
Jags.
Jobs.
And this is
All right, I'm
exactly
going-
where I pull ahead in the rankings this week.
No, because I'm going Dolphins too.
All right. So this is
All
where
right,
you
then
and
we
I are
got-
in the basement.
We got the Jets versus the Colts. Scott, lead the way.
Colts.
Colts, huh?
Yeah, Colts beating the Jets. I don't see the Jets really beating anybody this year, except maybe the Dolphins.
Swank, what you got?
I don't know, man, because this is like Phillip Rivers playing himself, only younger. So I have a really hard time picking this stupid game. I'm going to say Colts.
Jobs.
Colts. The Jets are the worst football team in the league. Colts.
Old score. Josh Cook has Bills winning 24-21. Bass wins it with a closing second field goal. His bold predictions, Josh Cook says White is going to pick off Goff twice.
I like
Twice.
it.
He's due for one. He almost got one this past week.
I Hey, how about T-Bass doing his job here this last week too? Coming back
Yeah.
and doing that.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Four extra points and a field goal, none of them missed. Good job.
Hell yeah.
Hey, real quick, I have to voice my opinion on this shit.
Sure.
I bought a Hauschka jersey a couple of years ago, so I'm still bitter that we let him go. He was money in the playoffs, sent that game to overtime.
Yeah.
Yes, he doesn't have a strong leg, but he should be here to mentor Bass for a year, and I'm pissed he's gone. And Bass better not fuck up.
Yeah, he's a very liked player. House money.
Yeah, Hausch money. Well, I mean, Bass needs to hit a game-winning kick for me to believe in him.
Oh.
Yep. It's a lot
Josh
of
Cook
pressure.
says this weekend it's going to happen.
There you go.
All right.
What
I
a
like
confidence booster too that would be. That'd be awesome.
Yep.
Hey, Jared, I tell you what, the Raiders are playing New England, and I am picking the Raiders because I would love to see 2 3-0 teams facing each other the week after that.
Oof.
Agreed. So you're picking the Raiders over the Patriots, huh?
Yep.
I'm going to throw this out there. I got the Raiders beating the Patriots as well. Swank, what you got?
Go to Chobes, man, because I'm still looking for my toilet bowl game here.
Oh, this is an easy one. This is the Pats. I watched the Monday Night Football game. A lot of people are jumping on the Raiders because of that, what you would call an upset victory. Drew Brees is so over the hill. He needs to retire. Belichick is going to give David Carr fits, and the Patriots are going to win. Derek Carr, sorry. It is brother. I hate picking the Patriots to win, but they're going to beat the Raiders.
Yeah.
They almost beat the Seahawks.
At least you didn't call the Rams a star defensive tackle by the quarterback of the Jets. So
I know, it's embarrassing.
That is embarrassing.
That's Bush League.
Embarrassing.
That's Bush League.
Patriots or Raiders, Swank, go.
Patriots and Raiders. I don't know, man. I don't like Gruden. I don't like Cam. I don't like a lot of things. That's what's beautiful about having a platform to speak about how many things I hate. I want the Raiders to win, so I'm going to say Raiders. I think they look good. As much as it pains me to say it, I really like most of the people on that team. One thing to consider with that is that Incognito is out this week. But I think Derek Carr had that beautiful pass week 1, man, and he's really turned into what he was, only better and older. So I'm going to say Raiders win, and then Patriots drop to 1 and 2, and that would be great.
Well, Carr is one of those quarterbacks that is a lot better than I think a lot of people think he is, and
Yeah,
I'm glad to see him. He's being successful.
absolutely.
He's a likable guy too. So another one of those likable guys in the NFL that you can't do nothing but root for. And his opponent there at the other end is kind of a guy that not very likable, but we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, now Chobes, what we usually do is we pick one game that we feel is going to be maybe an upset throughout the NFL. Swank usually banks on the toilet bowl game, so I'm wondering what he's going to pick this week for that.
Oh, I got dialed.
But we'll lead with Chobes for maybe what upset do you see happening this weekend?
Let me get my schedule pulled up. Bear with me, fellas.
I got one. I can jump in here.
This guy,
No.
get it.
Whoa, okay, fine.
Hey guys, we have the 2-0 Steelers playing against the 0-2 Texans. I think we saw 2 weeks ago how Watson couldn't find the niche with his receivers with Hopkins gone, but I think they finally get their first win of the season. My bold prediction, my upset of the week is the 0-2 Texans will beat the 2-0 Pittsburgh Steelers. Eric's not with us tonight. He usually follows us every weekend, every
He did
week.
jump
but
on a little bit.
there you go. But yeah, Texans 0-2 beat the Pittsburgh Steelers that are 2-0 right now.
My upset of the week isn't an upset. It's a mortal lock of the week because this team is stupid and they're going back to Tyrod Taylor as their quarterback
Oh my God.
after Herbert lit it up. So the Carolina Panthers will upset the San Diego Chargers, and that's just a mortal stone cold lock. So Teddy Bridgewater will outperform them. They'll beat them without McCaffrey, and that's my upset of the week.
Well, yeah, Hubert came in. Hubert came in. He played pretty well against Kansas City Chiefs. So
did.
it'd be Tyrod Taylor gets kind of put in these positions, but I feel like they should have kept with the rookie and see where he can go from there.
Yep.
Blank, you got one. What's your toilet bowl?
Toilet bowl is Washington and Cleveland. And
You're going to pick Washington.
I am going to pick Washington because I hate Cleveland. I used to like Cleveland. They were all right. And I hate Cleveland. I hate every person on their team, especially Jarvis Landry, man. Come on. You can't
You don't
support
like
him.
you don't like the Baker Mayfield commercials?
Oh, God, man. If he spent more time going through his playbook instead of trying to get that money from Progressive.
Hey, man, he's going to be out of the league soon, so you got to make that money while you can.
Yeah, him and Johnny. That's true. Yeah,
Johnny
him and Johnny Football, yeah.
Oh, I love Johnny Football.
Yeah, he was entertaining. I don't know, man. Baker, he rubs me the wrong way. And it really, like, I picked the Browns game last week for the toilet bowl with the Bengals.
Yeah, is that going to be your toilet bowl game every week, Swank?
It might be, man. And, it, like, knowing my luck, it'll just be like, it'll make the Browns go, like, completely undefeated from here on out. But I will pick it every single week because I hate the Browns, dude. I hate the way the teams run. I hate the wide receivers. I hate everyone. My wife even hates them. She hates Kareem Hunt, you know? You got to hate that guy, I guess, you know? Like, Chubb is like the only dude on the team that I'm like, you know, he's probably an all right guy. And it just sucks that he's hanging out with the wrong crowd. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
if I was his dad.
And it sucks when you're playing him in fantasy football that week.
Yeah, well, I had him and I sat him this last week too. That was part of my my angst about all this. But
I played my buddy Jake, and he had double points because he had Diggs and Allen, so I got beat
oh, sweet.
just by those two players.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to say the Washington football team beats up on the Browns. That's my toilet bowl game of the week. Brought to you by Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Swank. No, but that's the thing now. I mean, we're 2 games into the season. Now, when the teams you beat start playing other AFC teams, that's another thing I'm taking into consideration is you want the teams that you beat to beat the other teams. And that'll look good in the playoff run.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I'm going out of the AFC, and I'm actually going to pick an NFC upset. I know a couple people are going to like this. Billy Gallagher, for one. And, a couple of my buddies and a couple other buddies are going to hate it. Dana Lange, for instance, he'll be on our show during Niners week. Giants upset the 49ers this week. Giants lost Shaquan Barkley.
Saquon.
But the Niners, Shaquan, probably said that wrong.
Didn't the Niners lose their whole offense, though?
But the Niners lost a pretty significant amount of players. So
Bosa's out for the year. Jimmy
they'll
G.
still make the playoffs, I feel, but this is going to be a rough week or two for the 49ers. And I have the New York Giants pulling the upset.
All right.
There you go. Well, with my picks this week, guys, I have our Buffalo Bills going up 2 games by week 3 in the AFC East.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's a
I
great
like it.
start.
I love a great start.
All right, before we close out, we usually run through a little bit of a final thought thing. Let's start. I don't know where everybody is on here, but Jobs, I want you to get, if you have any final thoughts before we end the program tonight, go ahead.
Bills are going to get the 2 seed and host the AFC Championship game. And when I came back from Houston last year, I immediately went to the casino. I'm not a gambling addict. I just do it for entertainment. Put a $100 bet for them to win the Super Bowl. So that's how it's going to happen.
Sweet.
What's the payout for that?
$3,600.
There you go. All right.
That one ticket.
Before we got Diggs, I was like,
Wow.
we're doing this.
That's trusting the process
It
and
is.
putting your
I'm
money.
drinking it. I drink it.
I drink it. I bathe in the process.
Yep. I would say I'm, just all about it.
It's awesome.
You were talking about gambling, and I'm just going to jump in here really quick. I don't know if anybody saw that schmuck from Barstool. The video of him, he placed a bet on a game this week, and I don't know. He just looks like an idiot, but he's probably going to shut my show down here. But no, he's sitting there watching the game. He's like, "Oh, I have $8,000 on this game." It's like, really? Why are we even focusing on this guy? Go buy a different team. Anyway, rant over.
All right.
Kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Swank,
Yeah, buddy.
any final thoughts?
Well, thanks a lot to Chopes for coming and hanging out with us tonight. And please go check out More Than Breaking Tables on Spotify and SoundCloud. And while you're at it, please check out the K-Gun Report. We'll be posting the audio to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and all other platforms by midnight tonight, so you can enjoy it. And then this video will be on Facebook Live. If you want to join in on the conversation, come hang out with us every Tuesday, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Bam.
Plug it.
Plugged it.
And I will go because I went on that rant about people not being on the Josh Allen train. You'll see this week, I did predict 2 defensive scores, which gives us, I think, 17 points to get offensively. I think this week we're not going to see the high-powered, high-octane Josh Allen. I think we'll see a more responsible Josh Allen this week. Still complete a high percentage passing. It'll calm all the naysayers down when they say that Josh Allen can play the game responsibly instead of a little gunslinger like he has been. I'm on the Josh Allen train, and it's about time that the naysayers join in and enjoy celebrating the number 1 quarterback in the NFL right now and understand that he's on your team right now. So jump on board. Josh Allen's a real thing. The passes that he's been making, the decisions he's been doing, you got to be on board, and it's about time it happens.
Very good point.
Agreed.
Yeah, man, enjoy the ride. This is the best it's been in 15, 20 years. So there's no reason to be upset. Watch every game with a full beer and a full heart, man. It's going to be great.
Just let it go. Just let it go. Just stop being so tense. I know it took me a little while to get on the fact that we do have a wide receiver core that is elite. I'm always worried about these defensive backs, but I think the defensive backs need to worry about our wide receivers. Just like I think Josh Allen, jump on board, just relax a little bit and understand what's happening here in Buffalo, and know that we can finally enjoy what we're watching every Sunday.
Hell yeah.
Hoorah!
Let's go.
Let's go. I have one of my final thoughts. One of them, like I have a couple written down here, but I don't.
This is like way past my bedtime, so I really hope it's quick.
We're closing up. The fact that we hate to watch our quarterback run the ball, the injuries that we've seen in the past take out quarterbacks that we love, but another thing we have to realize that's part of Josh Allen's game. He's a big guy. He knows what he's doing. So if he continues to run the ball, just protect it and keep trucking along, get those first downs when we need it. I want to thank everybody who watched tonight and who will view this live show later. It's awesome. Our group is growing. We welcome all the new fans and the new followers, and we encourage everyone to join the conversation. Whatever you have to say, just let us know and we'll conversate about it. And that's what we love. So thank you very much. We hope to talk next week, Tuesday at 9:30, like Swank said a little earlier, about a Buffalo Bills victory. And then on to week 4. Week 4 already. Can you believe that? Holy crap. First, we got to get through week 3, one game at a time. But, man, this season, once it's here, it starts going quick.
Yep.
All right, Chobes, thanks for joining the conversation. And, guys, as always, go Bills!
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Hey.